that's what I was saying in regards to like building processes, systems, and like organizations, ways to kind of build it out is what I was trying to get at. So I think we're kind of very both alike in that way. And then our work ethic towards those things, it's like we work so much, so we're able to see such big impact so short, like in such a short period of time. Yeah. So I think with people, because they put in small amounts of work here and there, it does take a longer period of time over that time horizon to see that impact. So I think, okay, so let's say we're on a chart from 0 to 100. If we're putting 50% effort in each day, you're only going to get to 50% output. And then that is going to take you longer to reach 100. Whereas if we're putting 80% effort in each day and we're getting an 80% output, that is going to reach 100% much quicker. So with those people that are doing the 50%, yes, it will be easier in the short term, but over the long term, you might be able to give up, and you might have those thoughts of giving up quicker, because at the end of the day, you're not putting the effort in up front. You're not putting that upfront investment in.
Do us a quick favor, guys. Hit the follow, subscribe button. Share this with someone who would benefit from it, and help us grow, as the more we grow, the better the episodes we'll get. Thanks, guys, for helping us, and let's get into the episode.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the SCULPTED podcast. Today, Nick and I were going over just how we've been this week with Live Free, how we've been with different business ventures, what I went to yesterday, went to a networking event. We're going to go into everything this week. Got a few Q&A questions from my Instagram of people wanting to ask us some different questions. So we'll just go straight into it. How you been this week, Nick?
Yes, well, my week has been pretty standard, to be fair. I think most of the time my week doesn't really change too much. Normally I'm just doing the same thing, meetings, and then normally in the evening, just a few more meetings. So pretty stock standard from me. But, you know, I spice up here and there with a few things. You know, maybe I go to Sydney and I meet someone for a meeting. But still, that's all fun and games. So, this is where you know me, and you know that
Nick doesn't meet girls, unfortunately.
Yeah, no need to go into that, but because that's really making me sound out as if the more I speak about it and don't address it, it just makes it sound even worse. So I'm going to skip the whole topic here, and if you think it's what it is, you're probably wrong. So I'm going to leave it, but I've really dug myself a whole bit. So my week's been good.
What a way to start the episode.
Yeah, what a way. Stitch me up, and I stitched myself up as well. Brilliant. So yeah, pretty standard week. But I think good progress with the SCULPTED app. Again, more stuff with investors, lots of stuff with YouTube as well. So yeah, pretty productive week. But Lee, what about yourself? You had a pretty cool day yesterday as well, right? So go into that.
Yeah, yesterday was sick. My week's been good. I've started a new kind of training program this week, bit of a mix between kind of running and gym work as well, which was good. Really, really liking that. Body is dead, I can't lie. My body is so sore right now.
Feet as well?
It's actually, blisters. Nick jinxed me. He's like, oh, have you got blisters? I was like, no, I don't get blisters, and he jinxed me straight away. So yes, I got blisters now, which is great.
I did that on purpose.
But yeah, that's been good. This week, just again, working on Live Free, my Instagram, trying to get some video styles down for that. Just working, seeing what's good, what's not been working. Because at the end of the day, my food content is something I'm predominantly going into with my Instagram. So just trying to see what is working for that, and the different styles. Because as we mentioned last week, I did have one of the videos go viral. So I'm going to try and replicate that, because with social media, it's a one where you have to replicate videos that go viral and just slightly change them. But going into yesterday's event, I went to kind of a networking event in London for like-minded individuals my age, mine and Nick's age. There was probably guys there from 18 to like 24, 23. Really inspiring, to be honest, if I'm being honest, Nick, just seeing people our age and how, not only like the business they're in and the different kind of ventures, but also just how much money they're making like per month, and like the different things that they're in, like the different, I don't know what you call it, like pots they're in, they've got their hands in, and those kind of things. So I was speaking to there was a group of 3 guys, and they had basically they called themselves resellers.
Resume.
They called themselves resellers, but realistically they weren't resellers. So they were, but also they were actually really good business people. At the end of the day, they were doing so. If a footballer or someone high net worth individual needs something sourcing, I would call it more of a concierge service. So if they need boots, they need Go Yard bags, Louis Vuitton bags, cars, hotel rooms, whatever, they will be able to source it for them and get it for these people. They're doing some really good numbers in terms of monthly revenue. I can see that with them. They also do Airbnb arbitrage. So what it is basically they go to contractors and lenders, and they say, we're going to guarantee your rent paid for 12 to 18 months. From there, they're obviously paying the lender's rent. But what they can do then is they've got the guarantee and the acceptance from that lender or from the property owner to list that property out on Airbnb. So yes, the property owner will make less money in terms of if they list out on Airbnb, but they don't have that risk. The people that hold the risk is obviously the group of the 3 lads holding the risk of listing out on Airbnb. But they obviously are able to make money off that. They know they can list out on Airbnb, and they're just paying the contractors. They get someone to go in and clean all the properties after people stay in the Airbnb, and they're just taking the profit off the top. So I thought that was a really cool business idea, because I was speaking to them, I was talking about kind of buy-to-lets, or buy-to-rent is probably what you call it in Australia, but buy-to-lets here, and I was talking about, like, what's your opinion on that? I said, it's just so much money you have to put down, and then so let's say you have to put 100 grand down, 35% deposit on a house, to then let it out for like 5 grand a year profit. It's not worth it. So that's where they were talking about Airbnb arbitrage, and that's where they came in. But yeah, it was interesting as well. The vice president, I think it was the vice president of American Bank. What is it? Was it the American Bank?
Bank of America.
The American Bank or something. Bank of America. That's it. Yeah. Like asked them to find a hotel, like, because they were coming to London, and they messaged their concierge service, his concierge. Bro, this guy, he's 19 years of age. He's got the Bank of America vice president asking him to find him a hotel. That's crazy. But yeah, they actually got me to do a little kind of speech on the networking thing as well, on personal brand, which was interesting. I just had to do it off the dome. I actually mostly talked about Live Free, if I'm being honest. I pulled up the Instagram. I'll try to send you some videos later. But I pulled up the Instagram of Live Free, kind of just documenting, because they're all business owners. They don't really have a personal brand as such. So I was just more documenting and showing them how, with a personal brand, it also impacts your business. So me being able to not only document what I'm doing in my personal life, but then also helping us with Live Free Diaries is going to be massive for us, because it documents where we've come from and where we're going to. And it also shows the progress, and people can relate to that. And especially customers and clients that come to Live Free, they're going to be able to see that, and they're going to be able to relate and think, okay, these are 2 down-to-earth people, founders, co-founders, and they'll be able to trust us a bit more with those kind of Live Free Diaries entries. But yeah, just really, really kind of inspiring day, if I'm being honest. Just seeing all those different things. One thing actually, okay, so a big takeaway for me was a thing called Air.ai. Have you heard of that?
Hey guys, I don't want to interrupt this episode, but got to do what I got to do. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment if you enjoyed it. If you want any to give any feedback, even just leave that below. We're open to everything. Join the Patreon, guys. There's going to be a lot more stuff on there. We want to hear from you guys as well. We want to get you involved. If you want to be beta testers to the SCULPTED app, let me know. I can make that happen. Try and get involved at any level. What we're doing at Live Free, guys, make sure you check what we're doing there. Liam's got his own personal YouTube channel. He's always uploading. I've got my own personal YouTube channel that I've started uploading twice a month now. It's going to be cinematic like I am now, right? I've got the light above, got a cool camera. That's what I'm going to be working on, guys. So make sure you follow Live Free Diaries. SCULPTED app. We're doing great stuff over there. Additionally, we want to grow this podcast, guys. And the only way we can do that is through your guys' help. So make sure you subscribe, listen to us on all audio platforms. We're everywhere. So make sure you interact with us. Make sure that you help us grow, because the only way that we can grow this podcast is through you. We'll get better guests. We've always had great guests from the get-go, but we'll get even better guests on. Production value will go up. I've got my studio, but we need to get Liam his studio, and the only way we can do that is through monetizing this platform. So make sure you do that, guys. And I'll go back to the episode. No.
Okay, so Air.ai. Do you remember when I was in Australia and I gave Nick a call? I was like, I don't know if I've just been called by an AI. Do you remember that?
Yes. Okay, yes.
So Air.ai does all your customer service, does all your sales calls, does whatever you need. It's basically a sales rep, customer service, whatever, but an AI version. So it sounds exactly like a person. So it could call you up right now. Bro, trust me. That's what I'm saying. It calls you up right now and it can go... That's what I mean. Bro, it's so crazy. I'm thinking we need to use it somehow.
I'm going to overlay it to this, bro. This is
like...
Oh?
Hey, James.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, James. It's Alexander from Tesla Motors. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty good, my man. How about yourself? And you said from Tesla, right? It's the car company?
Yeah, that's right. I'm calling from Tesla Motors, the car company. Did you have any trouble or questions while customizing your car on our website?
No, we're just kind of shopping around and, just taking a look.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Sometimes we're just exploring our options before making a decision, and I totally respect that. Can I ask you why you were looking into a Tesla in the first place?
It's insane. I was when this guy Gervin his name is no, let me just double check what his name is. Yeah, I think it's Gervin. Sorry, let me just have a look. Gavir, sorry, correct. Gavir, he was talking about it, and bro, he was talking about Air.ai. So they actually licensed their software from £250,000 to £2.5 million.
Oh, wow.
So you can license it and then white label it yourself. So you can white label that and then sell it. So you can sell it yourself if you wanted to. But to use it, it's free. So I could go right now. And it was the craziest thing ever, because I've struggled always with obviously going on calls and trying to stay up to date with my outreach and trying to do all these different things. But if I can have an AI instead of a customer service team or whatever, and I'm paying like 0.7 cents per call just to get onboarding clients, make sure they're kind of basically, where you're testing it and making sure they're the right fit.
Onboarding.
Yeah, just onboarding clients and kind of knocking away the ones that aren't really prescribed to what you want. If you can do that with someone for 0.7 cents and you're onboarding the right people and they're going to end up paying you £50, £100 per product or per whatever, that's so much return on like investment is crazy. And I asked Gavir, I was like, what's the churn rate of people realizing? Because I was like, I realized, because I had one call, I realized, but probably because I'm in the space of obviously technology, AI and social media, and I'm young, I probably understand it a bit more, but what's the actual percentage rate of people realizing that it's real? And he said it's about 87-90% that people don't realize. So like 10% realize, but bro, that is crazy, because it speaks to you like it's an actual conversation.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you could be like, I'm really
even
struggling with
my
found
out
sale.
that it's AI, it's not even that big of a deal though, because it's still helping you and it's still informative.
But that's the thing, because people are now knowing that AI is better than a human. It's going to get you to the solution faster. It's not going to like mess about. It's going to give you all the information you need, and it's going to do it a lot quicker than a human can. Like if you're on the phone to, let's say, I'm running a business in England, I would rather have a UK customer support AI person than an Indian person who is, yes, they are able to speak, but it's honestly, you wouldn't trust a person that they're not from the country. So if I was to have someone from America as well on my phone lines, if I was to have someone on my phone lines from America, but I'm in the UK, I still wouldn't trust them as much because they're from America. Do you know what I mean? So to have someone as well, an AI, bro, it's the crazy amounts of potential opportunities that can be used with it. I'm going to be implementing it somehow in my business, whether it's for my email outreach. I get people's emails and phone numbers and then just phone them up, get them on qualifying calls, make sure they're qualified, and then sign them up to my meal plan, because I'm currently working on that. Like, somehow it's going to like help generate more money. Honestly, it was just crazy.
It's pretty wild to see. Like, it would have been so cool for you to go to that event and see people our age doing so well. Now, on that same leaf though, they probably look at us and think that we're doing so well, but in a different kind of venture. So it is really cool to see that.
Yeah. No, 100%. I was thinking that when I was there, I was staring at them. They're making some good money. Like, I'm thinking, like, this guy's 19. He's got a Polo, but he's got a BMW M5. Like, they're going out and they just drop like £600 on a tomahawk steak.
Yeah, whilst they
the
can't
night
afford
before,
fish and chips.
the three of them. That's what I'm thinking. But at the end of the day, are they in a business that can scale to have an exit of £500 billion? I don't think so.
Yeah.
A reselling
But
business and whatever.
They are starting
Is
somewhere.
that really? Oh, 100%. No, they've started somewhere. They've been, but like, a lot of these guys have been doing it for 3, 4, 5 years, like we have. But at the end of the day, their predominant focus hasn't always been on that as well. Their predominant focus has our predominant focus hasn't always been on that. Ours has been on football. Whereas we're now going into that space and developing in that space, and I think we're going to see some really good success over the next 1 to 2 years. So I'm not worried that it was just more inspiring than it was coming from more of an inspirational sense than a jealousy sense, if anything. And I was just really inspired kind of seeing that.
You can do it too.
Yeah, that side of it. And pardon?
You can do it too.
Yeah, like, they probably look at me though and they see, like, oh, you've got, because they're like, obviously, Masucci, the guy that got me to go to the event and stuff, he was saying, like, go talk about your personal brand, like, they'll love it and those kind of things, and let people ask them questions. So they probably are more interested in, like, seeing how many followers I was able to get and those kind of things, whereas I'm more interested in the business end. Like, it works in different ways, and people always have kind of perspectives on that, if it makes sense.
100%. That was something that was really interesting that I thought of the other day, thinking about, remember when we were first thinking about creating a marketing agency, and I was pretty reluctant to it because originally I was thinking it's just too oversaturated, and to do it, I think that we're maybe not the best people to do it. And that's actually how, guys, we started Live Free. Liam and I were thinking about how we can kind of get into business a little bit more, and I basically went away, did a heap of homework, and came out with Live Free. But I kind of re-explored that option just in my head hypothetically, and I was thinking, what's a better way to do that? And I came to a thought where this should be, and I bet this is actually happening. Maybe not too efficiently now, but I think, imagine with the same contractor arbitrage methodology, if I was to go create my company and get a few results from just a few people on Fiverr, where I go to a client and say, I'll do X, Y, and Z for you, but I get all of my clients from Fiverr, and I get them from Indonesia, Philippines, whatnot, and they're paying, what I pay them is much less than what I charge my clients, and I get quality results. Now, I probably have to assume quite a lot of knowledge to actually know who to put where and to get whatnot to actually make a good product. But that type of business model with the right person, leading the operations, that business model is really, really profitable, because that is contract arbitrage to a massive clientele base with heaps of people at your fingertips, really. So I was thinking, like, doing something like that actually makes a lot of sense, which is probably what that Airbnb thing is, right?
Yeah, no, there was other people there, like, doing SOMA, Amazon FBA, OFMs, trading. Yeah, so like, there's a load of people just doing different things there, and it's definitely interesting just to see and kind of get ideas from. And I think big takeaways from that, the Gavir guy with the OpenAI, just how not Air AI, sorry, how impactful it can be to any business, because it can be impactful for a coaching business just to qualify leads, can be impactful for a sales business to close leads, like, can be so easy. You automate it once, then it's set for however long you need.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So how did that?
It was a good day.
How did the how did the organizer of the event actually create that event? Was it like through a Instagram channel? Was it through how did he actually go about that?
Okay, so I reached out to him a while ago because I saw it in TikTok, and I reached out to him. I was like, oh yeah, love the content. That's what I said. And he said, oh yeah, like I've seen your page as well. Like, love it. Keep up the great work. And then we've been in touch since. We jumped on a call after that, just to discuss the different things we were doing in business and those kind of things. And then I said I was back in the UK, but what he does, he obviously he has his own contract. He has a social media agency, marketing agency, but it's for a like business contract developers. So like construction. Yeah, that's right. So building construction sites, and he markets, like, does all their social media and kind of things. And he's created a kind of group off of it, off of his personal brand, showing people how kind of the network can help you. And he's basically just got a Telegram group where loads, it's probably like 50 to 100 people in there, just networking, talking different about things, about money, business, all those kind of things. And then I think once a month he does these kind of networking groups. And I think you pay like £50 or whatever. I'm not fully sure to go. But yeah, it was just a kind of eye-opening thing. Because to be fair, I was thinking, well, maybe I could do something like that as well.
I was about to say, bro, I think we need to do something like that. And thinking about it, how we can do it on two sides of the globe. Bro, if we do it on two sides of the globe,
bro. No, okay.
we're so efficient.
Before you say anything, my mum said as well. Okay, so yes, my mum. But my mum said, why don't you do it in Australia? Who is doing any, no, like even older people, who's doing any network business things? They're doing more like meetings and kind of masterminds and kind of top people running it. But who's doing like networking to meet like younger individuals? Oh, fuck, bro, but fuck them.
No. But that's why it doesn't happen in Australia that much. That's what I mean. Because I think that tall poppy syndrome is such a big thing where people are they don't want to embarrass themselves by, I mean, it's not even really embarrassing themselves, but they don't want to show that they're superior to others because they know they're just going to be cut down. And that's what I think is so prevalent in Australia. I mean, I'm a victim of it. I know I am. But it's something that I'm, actively working on. I think, bro, I mean, obviously I've got a spare room upstairs if you ever want to come back, but they could do something. No, but to be fair,
I might be living rent free, so
yeah, that's true. Yeah. But, I mean, I'd probably go over to live in Budapest for a bit.
Budapest, yeah.
Yeah, cheap to live in Budapest. I love Budapest. It was cheap. My type, obviously. I got my citizenship, so I can stay wherever I want. It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. How could I? Because a lot of my following obviously is.
A
lot of people ask me about the content side of it and how do I create some sort of content and those kind of things. But no, a lot of it is the football side and the food side. But how do I create something in person where people are paying for a product or for a meeting?
Well, bro, it doesn't even need to be paid
networking event.
Because what I think the best model of that is actually just getting people who are at your fingertips. It's a networking event, so then you can say, oh, I know that this person does dropshipping. I can speak to them whenever. And then if I need a graphic designer to do an editing job for me, I know that he does a really good job. I pay him. Then once you've got a collective community of people, that's probably what this guy's done. He probably just, originally started doing meetups and whatnot, networking with people, and then started to grow a community around it and then charge it as a networking event. I do know someone who actually does that in Sydney. He does it to a very basic level, but he has made a business out of it. But it's for like business people who are like doing kind of boring like desk jobs, if I'm being honest.
That's what I mean. Like, but there's so many people in the space that are trying to start their own business, trying to do dropshipping, trying to do this, that, whatever. Like, even if they're not experienced, they don't make many money from it. Like, people still want to try gain as much knowledge as they can. And that's at the end of the day why I went. I want to just learn from people. I want to learn as much as I can. So, I don't know. I'm thinking. I think in probably like 2 to 4 weeks time, I'm probably set something out like that. But for the moment, I
Sure.
just need to make sure my content's right, generating into what I want to, and then maybe go down that route in a bit.
Bro, I think we do it because, like, think about this. If we were to have it on two sides of the world, right? If you were to do it there and I was to do it here, I've already got LinkedIn connections with established people who I could come and get on board, like the marketing guy from the Iconic, bro. Think about that. We do a seminar about marketing, something like that. It's always like a podcast in person.
Yeah.
Like, who's doing that? I think we got to work on this, bro, because that's a really good one, actually.
Mm.
No
The
one's-
only
no
thing
one's
for me,
doing
I'm
that.
just too afraid to do too much. I'm just
Yeah,
so scared
that's
to
the
do
other
so
thing.
much. But
But
to be fair,
we could
that's
be
only
more
it's-
efficient by
it's
doing
one
it.
day. It's one day a month or whatever. It's one day
Yeah.
a month. It's not like a massive, or even you could do it every 3 months or something. Like, it doesn't have to be every month. Yeah, we could. You know what you could do is have a live camera feed. So when one person's talking, so let's say I'm on one side of the world talking, you have it on your screen, and then when you're talking, everyone's watching on my screen.
Yeah. I was thinking like I'd like call you in on the big screen or something like that, and I'd be like, "Yeah, so guys, this is what's happening in London right now," and then it goes to your room filled with people, and we're like, "Hey, Liam, and everyone," that'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, that'd be sick, actually. I think
Yeah.
we work on that over the future, over the
Yeah.
next few months. I think we work and see. I think as Live Free grows as well, a lot more people are going to want to.
That's
Stuff
what
like
I'm about to say. Yeah, we do
people,
not. We
because
need
the people
results.
following Live Free. Yeah, but the people following Live Free are following it for the startup journey,
Yeah,
like
that's
Live Free
true.
Diaries. I mean,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, they're following not only for the startup journey, but the education behind it, and
Yeah.
how to invest your money, how to do this, how to build relationships. Bro, that's the definition of networking.
Literally. Yeah.
It works on your finances, it works on your relationships, it works on your public speaking skills.
Yeah,
It's like
leadership,
it works on everything.
Yeah. I think, yeah, bro, we just
Yeah.
got to keep doing what we're doing and keep evolving it. And that's when we'll start to see, like, obviously, it's just a matter of time until we see success because knowing our personality, that's just,
We need
it's
to
not
get Daniel-
guaranteed, but I
we
think
need
that
to
we're
get
going to make
Daniel
it work no
Dalen
matter
on.
what.
Speaking about things.
Yeah, well, first degree connection. Maybe I'll send him a message.
No, but I was watching his thing this morning. I sent you the screenshots of it. That episode, the SaaS startup diary thing.
Yeah.
I was watching the first episode this morning. It's already impactful in the first episode. Like, I want to watch the whole series. But he's doing well. Sorry about that.
I rate it.
Yeah.
I think he's got a really cool story.
No, he's doing really brilliant with the stuff he's doing. So I'd love to get him on and just talk about just knowledge, just get information, just knowledge from him, because at the end of the day, we want to learn is for us, like, because our company is a SaaS. At the end of the day, it is really it's a SaaS. It's a mix between a SaaS and then also a obviously educational
B2C.
video platform. Yeah, ours is a SaaS for customers, really.
Yeah.
Because we're building the platform behind it.
I mean,
We're building the platform behind it, but we're also building the content on it. So it's a mix of both.
yeah.
Because
definitely.
if we go,
And also,
we
do have a good business model.
yeah, exactly. Because if you go and look at it's a hard one because I could say yeah, I'm not going to say that company, but if we go look at some company like Google, for example, let's say we go look at Google. Google is the SaaS, whereas products on their company, so on their SaaS, is other people's products. So the other people's products are just a B2C company, whereas ours is a B2B and a B2C because it's
And
a
Google
SaaS.
hosts
And yeah, and so we're hosting our platform, but we're also putting the content on it.
Yeah, we have a very flexible business model because we also can go B2B as well. If other companies wanted to actually host their own services through our course, like software, we're very flexible with that. And also, we won't go through our IP because that would obviously be very counterintuitive. But through some of the stuff that we've kind of thought through, there are gaps in the markets where we can actually really utilize it well, especially with the current economic state with certain trends coming in technology where we actually are positioning ourselves in a pretty good venture to actually capitalize on those up and coming trends. Now, if it comes to fruition, we don't know. Of course, it's in the future. But we are trying to position ourselves to be very flexible right now with what Live Free is, so that as soon as one trend hops up, we can capitalize on that. Literally, it may sound silly, but crypto could literally be something that we capitalize on because we're so flexible with online that we could even capitalize on crypto. Now, I'm not saying that is actually something we'd do. I obviously gave you something that's not in our IP, but that could be something that we, capitalize on. Just as, no, actually, that's going to just give it away. But there's so many. With Live Free, we're just so flexible with the business model that we go down because we can just add it as another USP.
100%. No, I'm very excited for the Live Free project. But do you want to go into kind of some of the questions that we got sent over?
I think so.
Right, cool.
Definitely.
So first question.
We've got the questions in front of us both.
Yeah. So the first one was, where do you see yourself in 3 years? Where do you see yourself in 3 years, Nick?
It's always a tough one, right? Because when I thought about where I saw myself 3 years ago, I wouldn't have envisioned myself here. Now, I don't really like to envision myself in a specific time because I never know what's going to happen. But I'd like to imagine. All I can say is I'd like to imagine that I'm still trying to sculpt myself, and I'd hope that I would have a degree of freedom where I don't have to be in a job. I don't have to be constricted to a certain location. I think that those are the only real objectives I can kind of aim for because, 3 years ago, I was trying to get better and I still am trying to get better, right? So I'm sculpting myself and I'm trying to get closer and closer to live a life of freedom. So I can't really say where do I see myself, but I'd like to imagine that I am still maintaining those two things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that. I do like that. I think.
What about you?
With me, me 3 years ago though, I would probably say, I'd love to be in the position I am now. Like 3 years ago, I'm just very grateful for the position I'm in now, and obviously not everything's worked out. Not everything does work out in life the way you want it.
Yeah.
But I'm just grateful with everything I'm doing each day. But me in 3 years' time, as you said, it is a hard one. Yeah. But I do see very big. I see very big potentials in what I'm currently doing. I obviously want my Instagram to grow. Yeah. That's a big part of my business. I want that to grow. Our side little hustle that to grow. And then Live Free Diaries is going to grow very, very big over the next few months, years. 3 years time, especially Live Free in general. Hopefully we'll have investment by then. Yeah. Well, most definitely we'll have investment by then, but hopefully we'll be able to scale very big.
If it takes us 3 years to get our first investment, then guys, we're not doing too
well. But hopefully we'll have seed two, like Series A, Series B, investing. Yeah. But
public company.
We'll see. I mean, for me, a big thing for me is always having that freedom, as you said, Nick. I don't want to be constricted by someone. Probably 3 years time, I don't want to be. Well, most definitely in 3 years time, I don't want to be working for anyone else like I am now. Obviously, I'm doing a bit of part-time work for a podcast, so I don't want to be doing that in 3 years time. Want to be able to afford to just do whatever I want to. Want to be able to afford to just go out wherever I want to. And yeah, what am I? 3 years time, 21. Yeah, 21. Like 21, being able to spend whatever I want, being able to go do whatever I want. But at the same time, I say that, but it's not like I'm going to be out every day just doing whatever I want on holiday. Like I'm still going to have the driving factor in me to want to just work because I like it. So yeah, that's where I see myself in 3 years. Probably spending more time with family once we have everything up and running. And hopefully just being able to delegate a bit more to people, to employees and those kind of things, hopefully.
Yeah. I think we just want to be better than what we are right now.
That's what I mean, 100%. Well, because when I say delegate, what I mean is delegation for me will allow me more time and more freedom to work and to produce at a higher level. Because right now, we're producing at a certain level. We're not able to delegate to people to do those tasks. We have to do those tasks ourselves.
We have to do
So-
the how a lot.
Yeah. So if we're able to do those tasks and get them someone else to do them, and we can produce the higher, more valuable, more efficient, more worthy tasks and create more of an effect from them, that is where the most impact will come, and that is where obviously freedom will come as well.
Yeah, when we're able to truly do what we're good at, that makes everything that we do 10 times better if we've got people to do what they do really well for us as well, right? So if we were able to, literally, if I was able to sit down in front of this camera for 1 hour a week and I didn't have to worry about editing it, I didn't have to worry about setting this place up, think about how much more efficient this whole podcast would be. And this isn't even just the only thing I do. I do this for Live Free Diaries, I do this for my YouTube, I do this for all things. So like when we start doing that, imagine how much more efficient the Sculpted app would be. Literally.
Because obviously he goes to his podcast, it's all set up for him. He just has to sit there. Obviously beforehand he has to prepare all his notes, read over his notes, like do a bit of research on his guests and those kind of things. But that's all prepared as well. The notes and everything is all prepared beforehand from the team. And then he goes in, obviously reads it all, interviews the guest, leaves, go does investment meetings, go does this. He's delegating at the end of the day. He's doing emails, delegating, working on different things. The podcast is probably his most hands-on thing, actually working in the business with all his other businesses, his investors, his investments and those kind of things. He's delegating and providing value and information for the most impactful effect.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
next question was,
how much are you getting paid?
How much are you getting paid?
So I left this question in for Nick because a lot of people, they like to think I'm on millions of pounds or whatever. They like to think I'm on hundreds of thousands or thousands of dollars. Look, at the end of the day, we're building a startup. A startup is very minimal capital. So a startup is zero.
Yeah.
But the money I'm making from my part-time job, doing freelance, not part-time, freelance job, is, again, it's not a huge amount of money. And my social media at the moment, like, the only way I make money through social media is through brand deals and affiliate links. Like, it's not huge amounts of money. Like, your customers have to go buy your products. Do you know what I mean? So, for me, money will come later on with Live Free when we choose to, if we choose to sell or we choose to get customers on board. Like, whatever it is later on down the line, I'm not worried about that too much now. I'm just more focused on right now just being able to live, if anything, and then just more worried about building processes and those kinds of things right now for the future. But yeah, what's your kind of thoughts on how much you're getting paid, Dick?
Well, firstly, Nick gets paid nothing, guys. Nick's back cat is in like the zeros. If you watched the last episode or the second last episode of Sculpt podcast, probably by now you'd know that Nick's owed a lot of money and Nick can't do a lot about that. So Nick's got barely any money. So Nick pretty much gives sweat equity to everything he does.
And Nick is speaking in third person.
Good at graphic design. Yeah, Nick's literally speaking about himself. So, Nick is betting on himself to make a lot of money in the future rather than making a lot of money right now or making some money right now. I believe that I can truly make a lot of money in the future, and I'm sacrificing the potential money that I could earn right now, which probably is minimal, for the long term.
But you know what the thing is?
Success.
You know what the thing is, though? We could go right now and get a job and work our way up within that job. I'd say within 1 to 2 years to be quite high in the job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's me going and working in a
100%.
marketing business or a kind of social media business or something like that, or even just any business, I feel like I could learn a lot quickly. Same as yourself, videography, whatever it is, graphic design, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we could go do that, but that's not what drives us. Like, we would rather make a lot less than a lot of other people and do something that drives us each day than something that's we just want to get home from and just literally not even think about. Like, we're thinking about this 24/7.
Yeah. Oh, bro, we don't rest. Well, we do, because that's strategic. But in terms of what I mean by that,
we sleep.
We sleep because that makes us more efficient, guys, which is also a question later on in the Q&A. But yeah, we're strategic about it because we want to make sure that, we sleep. So if we work better, we want to make sure that we're the most productive as possible. We want to make sure that we're the most efficient as possible. That's why we still train. We want to make sure that we are the best versions of ourselves. So we're strategic about it.
Okay, so we'll move on to that next question then, is how to sleep better. Talk about that. So the best biohacker for sleep is this guy right here. So we will go to Nick for this question because my sleep isn't the greatest. It hasn't been the greatest for 2 to 3 years, 4, maybe 5. So we're going to push to Nick because I do need to take some of Nick's advice on this.
Okay, so my sleep it fluctuates a lot, but my all-time like sleep consistency in terms of where I was getting the most amount of deep and REM sleep over 6 months time was around 4 to 5 hours per night, and I could literally get 8 hours of sleep every night, and that would be equivalent to like your night and a half. So I got to the point where I slept less and it was more efficient than most people sleep. And the way that I did that, a few different like kind of hacks. I don't really like calling them hacks because it's not a hack, but it's just a kind of a tip. I'd say 1, sleep cold. You want to be cold when you're asleep. Now, you don't want to be shivering, but you do want to be in a cold environment. 2, I would say have a routine that you stick to every night. Now, we are privileged enough to work with a sponsor called Sleep Smart, which is essentially their main kind of focus is, I think it's, they say like make tonight's sleep better in the morning, or a good sleep starts in the morning. I can't really remember it. Sorry, guys. Brittany, you're going to hate me. But, hey guys, I don't want to interrupt this episode, but, got to do what I got to do. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment if you enjoyed it. If you want any, to give any feedback even, just leave that below. We're open to everything. Join the Patreon, guys. There's going to be a lot more stuff on there. We want to hear from you guys as well. We want to get you involved. If you want to be beta testers to the SCULPTED app, let me know. I can make that happen. Try and get involved at any level. What we're doing at Live Free, guys, make sure you check what we're doing there. Liam's got his own personal YouTube channel. He's always uploading. I've got my own personal YouTube channel that I've started uploading twice a month now. It's going to be cinematic like I am now, right? I've got the light above, got a cool camera. That's what I'm going to be working on, guys. So make sure you follow Live Free Diaries. SCULPTED app. We're doing great stuff over there. Additionally, we want to grow this podcast, guys. And the only way we can do that is through your guys' help. So make sure you subscribe, listen to us on all audio platforms. We're everywhere. So make sure you interact with us. Make sure that you help us grow, because the only way that we can grow this podcast is through you. We'll get better guests. We've always had great guests from the get-go. But we'll get even better guests on. Production value will go up. I've got my studio, but we need to get Liam his studio. And the only way we can do that is through monetizing this platform. So make sure you do that, guys. And I'll go back to the episode. I actually did a video for them the other day on Instagram, and I go through wearing my blue-up blockers before I go to bed. So maybe 4 hours before I go to bed, even 5 sometimes. And then I put my nasal strip on and mouth tape. So essentially what that is it's opening up my nasal passage so that I can breathe primarily through my nose. I do actually cut my mouth tape in case I do have asthma. So I don't actually have asthma, but they said I did when I was younger, and never had any problems with it, but I do do a little bit of it sometimes, and that happens, when I'm asleep. So I do need to have a bit of an emergency, hole to breathe out of when I have the mouth tape. But blue light blockers, mouth tape, stick to a consistent routine. I always make sure that I write out my to-do list the night before. If you listen to the expert with Helen Dugdale as well, we talk a lot about how to get better sleep in that episode. She was really good, very helpful. Talking about a to-do list and the importance of doing a to-do list before you go to bed. And then additionally, writing in my journal, also reading for about 15 minutes. That really helps me. I also make sure that I have headphones in, like not noise cancellation ones, but Sleep Smart actually have them as well, where they're like little rubber earbuds that I put them in, because I'm a very light sleeper. Like I literally, a door will open and I'll know that someone's opened the door, I'll wake up. And I could be the deepest sleep that I've ever had, but I'll wake up. So I've got to make sure that my circadian rhythm is also consistent by going to the same time asleep every single night. And also wearing a sleep mask, which, again, you can get at Sleep Smart. I think, I don't know, I didn't get one, but I use another one that I got sent from another company before I worked with Sleep Smart, and that actually has music in it. So I listen to the same songs before I go to bed and whilst I'm asleep even, because I found that when I did that, I would fall asleep naturally, even if I wasn't tired, because my body's just used to hearing those same songs. So a cold room is always good. Making sure that it's always dark, because the light also wakes you up. Going to bed at the same time every single day. Having that routine. Making sure you're hydrated. The other thing that really changed my sleep fundamentally was intermittent fasting. So not eating a certain a certain amount of hours before bed. So I stop eating at around 2 p.m. each day, 2 to 12 p.m. each day. But I recommend around 5 to 6 hours before you go to bed. You should probably stop eating for the best case scenario. Maybe it's 4 hours. That's also good. But 5 to 6 for me, I saw like crazy changes in my sleep. So quite an in-depth kind of few tips there. But that's where I saw my sleep really, really fundamentally shift.
What's your highest sleep score, Luke?
Oh, it's actually not that high. I think it's 92, if I'm being honest. I really struggle with sleeping in. So I always make sure that
But it's quality sleep.
I wake up on an alarm. And it is quality sleep. And I'm pretty consistent as well.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
I have nothing to give you on
What's your sleep like?
So I have nothing to give you. Yeah, fair enough. I'm always up, either go to the bathroom or just rolling about. I think I need to get a good pillow. I think that's my problem, because my pillow always sinks through. My head's on like the mattress pretty much. I think that's my problem, because I had a good sleep in that Marriott hotel I stayed in Perth, and that was a good pillow. I was trying to purchase that the last 2 nights ago. I was trying to purchase that, and it was 130 euros plus 25 euros shipping. So I was like, no.
I always used to sleep so good at hotels.
But you know what it is as well? It's because they have blackout. Their blinds are so blackout. There's no light that comes through.
Yeah, and the rooms are cold.
Yeah, everything like it's perfect sleeping conditions. That's what I was thinking when I was there. I was like, if I could sleep in a hotel for the rest of my life, I would. Like, if I could afford
to. Factual. I think in total I stayed around maybe 100 days in hotels whilst I was living in Germany. Bro, it was so good.
That's what I mean.
Expensive. I spent around $5,000. So good.
Okay, so next one, something I get asked so often. I think we spoke about it on the podcast as well. How do you remain so disciplined in your craft? So it's just that driving factor. We've spoken about it before. I don't really want to go into it too much, if I'm being honest. But it's, to be honest, it's a driving factor of doing something that you love. For me and Nick, we love doing what we're doing each day. At the end of the day, it might be very tired. We might be tiring. We might be very stressed. We might be doing a lot of things that drain us. But it's that driving factor behind the reason why we're doing what we're doing. Because if we knew, with Live Free, for example, if we knew what we were able to kind of produce now, so with the Live Free kind of platform, it's going, I don't know if I want to release that. I'm not going to say that as such. But what we're doing with Live Free, if we had that when we were younger, 2, 3, 4 years ago as well, it would massively change the kind of trajectory we're on. It would change the path that we're going towards. It's going to help us in 4 or 5 years' time when we're going more experts on. Honestly, just the inspiration we get behind building these things as well. I think it's just the business side of building out platforms, building out systems, building out operations. I think that's a buzz that Nick and I get a thing that Nick and I get a buzz from as well. Do you not think, Nick?
I'll differ a little bit. I typically hate what I do. For football, for example, I actually never liked training. I hated football. I always used to give an example, and I still stick by saying it. There's evidence for it. I could quit football tomorrow and not care. Now that's happened. I've stopped playing football, and I don't care about football. I'll never go back to football. I'll probably won't touch football again. Okay, for me, the reason why I do things is because I fall in love with the process. I get so deeply involved in the process that if I start to become more competent at something, I start to enjoy it more. When I start to enjoy things more, I start to feel more fulfillment. And when I have these 3 things working in succinct, like marriage, you could say, I start to really like what I'm doing. And it could be anything. Genuinely, it could be anything for me.
That's what I was kind of getting at.
I just fall in love with the process.
That's what I was saying in regards to like building processes, systems, and like organization ways to kind of build it out is what I was trying to get at. So I think we're kind of very both alike in that way. And then our work ethic towards those things, it's like we work so much, so we're able to see such big impact so short, like in such a short period of time.
Straight away, 100%.
Yeah. So I think with people, because they put in small amounts of work here and there, it does take a longer period of time over that time horizon to see that impact. So I think, okay, if we let's say we're on a chart from 0 to 100. If we're putting if we're putting 50% effort in each day, you're only going to get to 50% output, and then that is going to take you longer to reach 100.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're putting 80% effort in each day and we're getting an 80% output, that is going to reach 100% much quicker. So with those people that are doing the 50%, yes, it will be easier in the short term, but over the long term, you might be able to give up, and you might have those thoughts of giving up quicker, because at the end of the day, you're not putting the effort in up front. You're not putting that upfront investment in.
Hey guys, I don't want to interrupt this episode, but gotta do what I gotta do. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment if you enjoyed it. If you want any to give any feedback, even just leave that below. We're open to everything. Join the Patreon, guys. There's gonna be a lot more stuff on there. We want to hear from you guys as well. We want to get you involved. If you want to be beta testers to the SCULPTED app, let me know. I can make that happen. Try and get involved at any level. What we're doing at Live Free, guys, make sure you check what we're doing there. Liam's got his own personal YouTube channel. He's always uploading. I've got my own personal YouTube channel that I've started uploading twice a month now. It's going to be cinematic like I am now, right? I've got the light above, got a cool camera. That's what I'm going to be working on, guys. So make sure you follow Live Free Diaries. SCULPTED app. We're doing great stuff over there. Additionally, we want to grow this podcast, guys. And the only way we can do that is through your guys' help. So make sure you subscribe, listen to us on all audio platforms. We're everywhere. So make sure you interact with us. Make sure that you help us grow, because the only way that we can grow this podcast is through you. We'll get better guests. We've always had great guests from the get-go. But we'll get even better guests on. Production value will go up. I've got my studio, but we need to get Liam his studio. And the only way we can do that is through monetizing this platform. So make sure you do that, guys. And I'll go back to the episode. I also think people are so lazy. It is so easy to get ahead of people just through a little bit more effort. Like, genuinely, people are so lazy. People are either purposely being ignorant, or they are just literally ignoring things for laziness sakes. Like, people care too much about insignificant things, and then they start to second guess themselves. And it's like, oh, should I stop doing this because I need to go see my friends? No, you don't need to go see your friends. What do you want? Get your priorities straight, and it's pretty simple from there. Like, honestly, it's actually pretty easy to be disciplined. It's just that so many people start to think, no, I should do this. I need to go out with my friends later. Like, genuinely, I mean, you can if you want, but just know that if you have that attitude, you're probably not going to get too far. Like, just do it at 100%. Figure out what the best way of doing it is. Maybe you tone it down if you want, but just know that if you do tone it down, it's probably not going to correlate to more success. Just understand that. The more you do, the higher chances are that there will be more success. Now, there'll be exceptions to the rule, but create your own luck.
You can't set your expectations to be the next Jeff Bezos if you're not going to put in the Jeff Bezos work.
Factual. Which is why Liam and I can be so delusional, saying we're going to create the biggest educational company in the world, because, well, guess what? We're actually doing more work than pretty much anyone that we can even find in front of us. Like, genuinely.
Bro, LinkedIn's crazy, the amount of people that think they're doing well, but they're not.
Facts. Yeah, facts. And, I mean, technically, people looking on from the outside to us may be thinking something similar, but actually not. Maybe not even. I think that, bro, like, the post that I made today, we're literally collectively creating 20 pieces of content a week. Collectively, you and I. Because I'm now doing, I don't even tell you. Actually,
when you said that,
I'm now going to upload stuff on my Instagram.
Oh, you're doing Instagram as well? Actually, I did follow you on this.
Yes.
But you're going to do short form.
I was thinking, oh, yeah, I believe somehow found it. Yeah, I'm going to do cinematic stuff.
Oh, sick. What, like, how many videos?
Maybe like once a week. Nothing much. But it's going to be cinematic, so hopefully that high hit rate.
Yeah, nice. I think... Wait, are we actually putting 20 out?
Yeah, bro. Literally, because we do two podcasts a week, and then Live Free. We do 3 pieces there. Then you do a lot for your own social media. You probably carry, to be fair. But now that I'm posting weekly on YouTube, and then I'm posting now weekly on Instagram. And then also I post almost daily on LinkedIn.
I post on LinkedIn,
and then the SCULPTED app. Like, we're literally creating like up 10 to 20 pieces of content every single week collectively.
It's the output, guys. That's all we have to say. Output versus
We're creating
impact.
our luck. Yep. It's I I mean, we're just trying to create our life, right? We might be doing it the wrong way. We don't know, but, I'd rather go out trying than not try at all, if I'm being honest. And I think that's actually another misconception a lot of people have. I guess we can make that another video where people try and say, and this is what we spoke about with Stephen Bartlett, actually, when in the live tour, he said so many things about how he's, so dedicated, so, focused on the small details, focused about failing, but then contradicts it at the very end of his message by saying, well, guess what? You might die tomorrow. So nothing really matters in the first place. Well, he kind of contradicted himself by saying that.
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah. But I think that he actually still agrees that he'd rather go out trying, knowing that he gave it 100%, than being okay with dying tomorrow and just, it's a bit contradictory. But I think we make an episode about it. It is an interesting one. I would rather go out die. I would rather die trying than not try at all.
Would you rather sit on your bed and regret the things you didn't try in your life, your deathbed, and regret the things you didn't try in your life, and say, I wish I regretted, or I regretted not seeing my friends more, or I regretted not starting that business, or I regretted doing this and that? Would you rather say that, or would you rather say, I failed in that, but I at least gave it a try? That is where we wrap this episode, I think.
Yeah, I'd rather go out trying. Literally about to say that. I think that's it. Shout outs. We say lit.
So go follow Live Free Diaries on Instagram, YouTube, and then check out the Sculpted podcast, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Follow Live Free and Sculpted on those two platforms. And we will see you guys in the next week's episode, the two of us. Nick is going to be creating one middle of next week as well. So we'll see you guys then. Peace out.
Yeah. Catch you later, guys.